Hi guys, welcome to another video. Good to be here. Now I hope you can hear me. I'm standing right next to a very busy highway, but the reason I've stopped here, this is my first video from Hua Hin, and I heard about a brand new fish and chip shop that's open, which is about 3 miles from my house. Now I will drop a location map into it. It's right there behind me there. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to talk to the young Thai lady who owns it with her partner, and I'm going to sample some fish and chips. So it's a little bit unusual that it's not in its own kind of location, but that's not a problem. And I usually, when I go into a fish and chip shop in Thailand, I normally expect to see a middle-aged man from England who's had a fish and chip shop in England. Okay, so this one's a bit different, and as I say, a little bit noisy. So let's go inside and see what's cooking, as they say.
สวัสดีค่ะ
Right, let's go in and meet the young owner. She's Thai and her name's Ai. Hello Ai, how are you?
How about you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for inviting me today. I believe I'm going to be trying some fish and chips. Let's go and have a chat out the back first, shall we? Okay. So thank you for joining me, I and James. James, good to meet you for the first time today. And I, can I shake your hand? Or yeah, very nice, thank you. Okay, so just to get it clear here, you told me you're 32, right?
That's right, yeah.
And how long have you been in Thailand?
About 5 years now.
5 years. And what initially brought you over here?
I came here on a long holiday during COVID.
Right.
Because I was just sick of things in the UK.
Sure.
And I just ended up not leaving, and I've stayed here basically for.
So what do you do about your visas? 5 years, because you're under 50, obviously you can't retire here. So what's your visa status, if you don't mind me asking?
We're married. We married quite early on in the relationship. And
Congratulations!
Thank you.
So you're on a marriage visa.
Yeah, I'm on a 1-year marriage visa.
Okay. And what's your story then? Can I ask your age?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Oh, 27. So it's quite. You're 32. So it's not much of an age gap, and everything's working out well at the moment. So, are you from Hua Hin, Ai?
Nah, not really.
Where are you from?
I'm from Loi province.
Okay, is that up north somewhere, or whereabouts is that?
It's like a western north.
Okay. And what brought you down to Hua Hin the first time? Why did you come here?
We came together.
Oh, okay. And you were up there as well, James?
Yeah, we decided to move here together because COVID was still ongoing and we were sick of Bangkok.
And just to make it clear for everyone, the actual fish and chip counter we see behind us, that's run by Ai, isn't it? But from the story you told me yesterday, initially you were going to open something else, weren't you?
Of course, I'm looking forward to open Thai restaurant before, but
right.
Yeah, but right now we just think open some restaurant. People don't open yet.
Sure.
I think like a fish and chip probably is a good idea.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like, you know what, it's not only the English people like fish and chips. I've got a few American friends, in particular one guy called Jim. He just loves fish and chips. Every time he comes here, he's looking for a place to eat fish and chips. And there is a lot of expats around this area. Even though we're out of town, there's some big mubans, some big estates where expats live. Okay, so you were the inspiration, James. You gave Ai the idea to open a fish and chip shop.
Yeah.
Were you not nervous, like where we are?
Terribly nervous, and also I knew it was going to be hard, but then I can see why there aren't many chip shops, because it's extremely hard to do it right.
Right. And it's strange because there's thousands of expats here in Hua Hin, isn't there? So how long have you actually been open?
It's less than 2 weeks.
Less than 2 weeks, okay, yeah. So when we spoke yesterday, James, over the phone, I asked you, do you have cod? Because that's English people, we have cod and chips, right? But you told me you don't serve cod. What's the reason for that?
I don't want to serve anything frozen. The only thing in our freezer is ice cream and French fries, because some people prefer those over the hand-cut chips. But
right. So what's the main kind of fish you use for fish and chips here?
The Thais call it plakapong, but we usually call it barramundi in England or Australia.
Right. And you were telling me in Australia that's the main fish used for fish and chips, right?
That's the good fish in Australia. They also have shark, which they call flake, and that's like a slightly cheaper option. Barramundi is the good one in Australia. Yeah.
And what about the expats? Like, have you had English people come here and have fish and chips?
We knew it was something of a sacred cow when we started, that people think, some people we felt would think fish and chips has to be cod or haddock. But we've actually found it hasn't been much of an issue. We've had one person say, where's the cod? But
was that me?
You would probably count as a second, but
okay.
in general, we've found people really get it. It's fresh fish.
Right.
And another thing I'd just like to point out, that people say in England cod and haddock is also frozen.
Right.
But it's nowhere near the same thing. In England, when you get cod or haddock, it's frozen at sea.
Right.
Very rapidly after it's been mechanically filleted on the ship.
Right.
Whereas it's not the same here. The cod or haddock you get here, it's frozen like possibly 3 days after it's been caught.
Right.
The supply chain is so long, and it's partially defrosting so many times during the process, and by the time you get it, the texture has just been absolutely ravaged. And
okay, that's...
I've had fish and chips so many times in Thailand, and I can honestly say I've never had a good cod or haddock. And it's actually, and people think barramundi must be cheaper, but it's not. I can get frozen cod the same price or cheaper, but I'm at the moment I'm not prepared to serve it to people.
Right, because you were very adamant, because we had this conversation yesterday, and I was like, aren't you afraid your business will fail with that cod? And you kind of, I mean, what you've just said is what you said to me, and I'm open-minded, and I'm kind of thinking, well, I'm looking forward to trying it, because I'm going to be very honest with you. You know, if I think it sucks, I'll tell you it sucks.
I'd like to know, yeah.
But I'm hoping I won't really notice too much of a difference, and I'm looking forward to trying it. So just before I look at the menu, what else do you do actually?
We do battered sausages, we have pickled eggs, we don't have pickled onions, we have pickled Thai shallots as a little bit of twist. We have curry sauce, gravy, tartar sauce, and all of these are made fresh every single day. Brilliant. Chips are hand-cut, peeled hand-cut, fresh every day.
And what about you? I'll go and grab a menu after this, but is your pricing quite competitive compared to in town?
Yeah, it's a little more expensive than some places, but then, you know, we use a beer batter, whereas at best you're going to get half soda water, half beer in many places.
Right, so how much is that? Okay, so somebody comes in and they just want fish and chips and curry sauce. What would that set them back?
Well, it comes with mushy peas to standard, that's $3.99.
Right,
so fish and chips, mushy peas and a choice of sauce.
And what would that cost?
$3.99.
How much?
$3.99.
£399. So that's about £10?
It's cheaper than the UK, but then some places, you know, they're very cheap around here, but then...
I know. But then I'm the sort of guy who thinks if you can't afford £10 for fish and chips in Thailand, you shouldn't really be here, because you know it's a minimal amount. Like you said, I've been here 3 years now. I've got no idea what fish and chips cost in the UK now. Do you, or you got friends who tell you?
In London, it costs an absolute fortune. Up north, you know, the prices are just up and up all the time. Right. With cod fishing.
Okay, so do you think you'll enjoy doing this long time? What can you see yourself doing in the future? If this is successful in a year's time, where would you like to be?
Probably like a open new restaurant. It's like a property restaurant.
A standalone.
Everything is a property.
Right. And where any idea what sort of location you'd like to be? Would you like to stay around here or move closer to the tourist kind of areas?
We're not sure yet, but we try to find good location for everyone.
Right. And what do your family think about you being here with the fish and chip shop?
They're very proud of seeing me like successful about business or open restaurant or something like that.
Well, I've interviewed a few people in Thailand who have had businesses, and I've never heard of anybody being that successful in 2 weeks. So if you're hitting the mark now, you know, it's only going to increase, isn't it? But you do remember it is high season now. What would you say? I'll ask Sai this question, because we haven't spoken to her much, right? So now is high season. Most of the you've only had 2 weeks to see who your customers are, but would you say the majority of them are tourists, or the majority of people who actually live here full time?
It's mostly expats, right?
Yeah,
Mostly. So people who live here full time. Right. Okay. Well, that's good. So that's going to be a good steady income flow, isn't it? Whereas if you have tourists, they pop in, you might not see them for another year. So okay.
I'm not going to put anyone on blast, but you know, we've had some people coming every day.
Really? Every single day? And how much do they weigh?
I'm not going to put anyone on blast.
No, I don't blame you. So I'm the sort of guy, I've only got to look at the fish and chips and I'll put a kilo on, you know, so I've got to be very, very careful. I think what we'll do, I'll have a look at the menu now then and put in an order if that's okay.
Yeah, perfect.
So looking at the menu, these guys have done exactly what I would have done if I'd opened a business, if it was my first couple of weeks or my first month. The menu is, it's not a huge menu, so it's going to be very simple to keep it simple, if that makes sense. So I'm just looking at the menu there. You can see there's fish and chips. I won't read the whole description. 399 baht. You can work it out in your own currency. Curry sauce, gravy, tartar sauce, 49 baht. Very reasonable. Chips, as we call them in the UK, French fries for the Americans. I'll just leave this here for a second. I don't need to read everything out. And then we've got a few cold drinks there. And any plans for beer on the menu in the future?
We will when we get an alcohol license.
Fair enough. Okay, it all looks very impressive. May I put in an order?
Yeah. What would you like to order?
Okay, I'm not a mushy peas guy, so if you don't mind, could I have a beer battered fish and chips and maybe a pot of curry sauce? That'll do me. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Thanks very much. Looking forward to this. So I'm kind of hoping this is going to be good. I don't think it's going to be bad, because if they're already turning a profit after 2 weeks, people are coming back. And I have gone in and looked at some of their reviews, and I haven't seen a bad review. All the reviews have been good. Now, I only live 3 miles up the road, and I've got my car and my bike. So if they are really good, I'm going to have to kind of fight off the urge to come here every other day. Like James said, there's guys who come here every day. But I'll make it a once a week visit if it's good. And I's just gone off to cook the fish now. It'll be here shortly. So as I say, looking forward to trying my first fish and chips right here in Hua Hin. It's always a good sign when you're in a fish and chip shop and you see Sarsen's malt vinegar on the table, because a lot of fish and chip shops, even in Bangkok, they don't have real Sarsen's malt vinegar. I don't know why, because it's not that expensive to buy it. I buy it from supermarkets and I have it at home. For anybody who's non-English watching this, when we have fish and chips in the UK, you just wouldn't dream of having fish and chips without having Sarsen's malt vinegar on there. And the other thing is the HP sauces here as well. And I'm sure they have ketchup if you requested ketchup. I'm sure they've got ketchup and mustard and all the rest of it. But they're the main ingredients. Of course, the salt is behind the HP sauce there. Okay, so the fish and chips has arrived and they do look good. And just to reiterate something James mentioned earlier, they cut their own chips from potatoes, obviously, the hand-cut chips, French fries for the Americans. And but as James pointed out earlier, if you want frozen chips, then they have them on offer as well. Now, I don't like mushy peas myself. They come as standard on the fish and chips. The reason they're not here is I've asked, I don't want them on there, okay? But what I will try is the gravy there that looks nice and thick, and also the curry sauce. So let's give it a go, and I'll give you my honest opinion on the fish, because I have never tried it before. I'm usually a cod man. Okay, let's give these a go. Right, what do I want? I want some Sarsen's vinegar. Got to have vinegar. Can't get the bottle open. Right, plenty of Sarsen's vinegar on there. Absolutely drown it. Some salt. I'm not going to put any brown sauce on there. I don't think it needs it. I've got plenty of sauce here. Right, okay. I think what I'll do first is I'll try the gravy with the hand-cut chips. You know what I like about that is when you have gravy, when you go in a fish and chip shop and you have gravy, a lot of the time it's very, very salty, and this isn't salty at all. It's got the taste, but it's not salty. Another one. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Try a bit of the old curry sauce here. I'll tell you what, that is really nice. It's got a faint taste of raisins in it, how it should be. It's not salty at all, and I can honestly tell you, I really like that, and I like the gravy, but I prefer the curry sauce, but that's just personal choice. Now, James isn't giving me any backhanders, any freebies, anything like this. If it wasn't good, I'd tell you it wasn't good, but something I have forgotten to do is put the fresh lemon on the top of the fish. And now for the main event, the fish. Nice and crispy, look at that. Nothing worse than soggy batter. Now, first time I've tried this fish, and apparently it's the #1 fish in Australia for fish and chips. You know what? I'm gonna try another bit, and I'll give you my honest opinion. Get a little. No, I won't put any curry sauce on. I want to taste the fish. Look at that. That is nice. Do you know what? If James and I hadn't told me that wasn't cod, I wouldn't have noticed it. Because they've told me, I can notice a slight difference, okay? But it's not a bad difference. But if I'd come in here and just sat down in, I was with friends and I was talking, I ate it, I wouldn't think nothing of it. It's actually very, very nice, so I'm pleased about that. So overall, if I came in here and I paid 399 baht and I got this and I paid an extra bit for this, would I be happy with it? Yes, I would. And will I come back? Of course I'll come back. It's very, very good. But right now, I'm going to get stuck into these fish and chips. Something I need to let you know, the main kind of tourist area around the Hilton and Soi 94, places like that, about 10 minutes away. So look, if you're coming here on vacation, on holiday, and you want to come over here, you're probably going to rent a scooter. A lot of guys rent a scooter in town. They're very cheap, very easy to rent. And as I said at the beginning, I'll drop a map in of the exact location here, and I'll try and put a pin or coordinate so you can put it into your sat nav. But it is worth taking the 10-minute trip here for the fish and chips. Probably a lot cheaper than what you'll pay in town anyway. I don't know. My first week here, I'm just guessing. So yeah, just, you know, don't let it put you off. Don't let the distance put you off. It's very close, 10 minutes. It's just not really walking distance from the centre of town. Okay. So I'm all done and dusted. I really enjoyed them. Kunai and James, thank you very much for inviting me here. I did thoroughly enjoy the fish and chips, the curry sauce and the gravy. It was very tasty. Guys, I do recommend coming along here. It's a good experience. Try it at least once if you're living in Hua Hin. You've got nothing to lose, but you know, I wouldn't say it was good if I didn't think it was good myself. And I will be back here next week with my girlfriend as a paying customer, and I will order the same. So guys, I wish you the best of luck. James, thank you.
Thank you very much for coming.
I'll give you, thank you very much. And I wish you guys the best of luck, and I hope, you were talking to me that you might put cod and haddock on the menu at a later date. So if you do, I hope you'll invite me back and I can do a comparison taste test and we can talk about customer feedback. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, okay, well look, good luck with it, and I wish you every success for the future. Thanks guys.
Thank you very much.